You may be thinking, what's the big deal about fear? But the truth is, fear can hold us back from living the life we truly desire. It can paralyze us, making us hesitant to take risks, try new things, or pursue our dreams. So let's dive into this topic and explore how we can overcome fear with God's strength in 2024. Fear is an emotion that we're all familiar with. We've all experienced it at some point or another. But did you know that fear can take many forms? It can be the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or the fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's the fear of what others might think of us or the fear of not being good enough. Whatever the case, fear can be incredibly debilitating, causing us to doubt ourselves and our abilities. It can make us feel stuck, like we're not moving forward in life. But the thing is, fear doesn't have to control us. We have the power to overcome it, and it starts with our mindset. One of the most significant obstacles fear creates is that it hinders our personal growth. When we're afraid, we tend to play it safe, sticking to what we know and avoiding anything that makes us uncomfortable. But growth happens outside of our comfort zones. When we let fear hold us back, we miss out on opportunities to learn, to develop new skills, and to become the best version of ourselves. Moreover, fear can also affect our relationships. When we're afraid of rejection or judgment, we might avoid vulnerability, intimacy, or deep connections with others. This can lead to feelings of loneliness, disconnection, and isolation. Furthermore, fear can also impact our faith. When we're gripped by fear, we might doubt God's presence, His love, or His provision in our lives. We might question whether He's truly in control or if He's abandoned us. But the truth is, God is always with us, even in the midst of our fears. He's the one who can give us the strength, the courage, and the confidence to overcome our fears and live the life He has planned for us. So how can we overcome fear with God's strength? Let's take a look at some biblical examples that illustrate this concept. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, it says, "For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." This verse reminds us that fear is not from God, but rather it's a product of our human nature. However, with God's help, we can tap into His power, love, and wisdom to overcome our fears. Another great example is the story of David and Goliath. David, a young shepherd boy, faced his fears and trusted in God's strength to defeat the giant Goliath. This story teaches us that even in the face of overwhelming fear, we can rely on God's power to give us the courage and strength we need. In Psalm 27, verse 1, it says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" This psalm reminds us that God is our salvation, our deliverer, and our protector. He's the one who can calm our fears, giving us peace and confidence in the midst of uncertainty. When we put our trust in Him, we can face our fears with boldness and courage. The Bible is full of examples of people who overcame their fears by relying on God's strength. From Moses to Esther, from Daniel to Peter, we see ordinary people doing extraordinary things because they trusted in God's power. I want to share a personal testimony that has had a profound impact on my life. There was a time when I was afraid to share my faith with others. I was fearful of rejection, of what they might think of me, or of being judged. But one day I realized that my fear was holding me back from living the life God had called me to live. So I took a step of faith and started sharing my story with others. It was scary at first, but as I did, I felt God's presence guiding me, giving me the words to say and the courage to keep going. That experience taught me that when we rely on God's strength, we can overcome even the deepest seated fears. I want to encourage you to reflect on your own life. What fears are holding you back from living the life you truly desire? Are you afraid of failure, rejection, or the unknown? Whatever your fear may be, I want you to know that it's not too big for God to handle. He's the one who can give you the strength, the courage, and the confidence to overcome your fears and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought. Overcoming fear with God's strength is possible. It's not easy, but it's worth it. When we rely on God's power, we can face our fears with boldness and courage, living a life that's truly fulfilling and purpose-driven. Remember, you're not alone in your fears. We're all in this together. And I want to encourage you to share your own experiences with fear in the comments below. And if you want to dive deeper into the topic of faith and personal growth, be sure to check out my next video where we'll explore this topic further.